Just do a short quick video to help out personal trainers, just to gain a bit of awareness and to help with a bit of reflection on each of our clients. Now, sometimes when we do have a client list that tends to grow, we can develop this bit of brain fog and brain fuzz about where we are with each one. So just before I get to this matrix which I helped develop last week with just a trainer that I was helping through his client list, the most important thing before we jump to this with any client-trainer relationship is the initial engagement. The first time you meet each other in today's world, whether it be Zoom or face-to-face, and again the first couple of training sessions after that, and again the first week. The first time you meet each other is their connection. Are you open and honest with each other? Are you pulling the information out, or is the information showing freely? And are you articulating exactly what you're aiming to do and how you do it with the client to create a buy-in? Now, what we're looking to do is when our client list does grow and we get a bit flustered with our early morning starts and our late finishes, we begin to develop like, where do I stand with each one of my clients? So before we move to this, what I would get you to do is just write down your client list, and starting with the first client that you've written down, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a good relationship do you have? 10 being fantastic, 0 being there, it's non-existent, 0 and 1 is just non-existent. I'm putting a number to that, and we'll get back to that in a second. And then on the same client, on a scale of 1 to 10, from the goal that they've asked you to help them achieve, how close are you to achieving that? How much are you on course to achieving that? 10, 9, 8, pretty much you're on course to achieving that. You're going there. All you're, in a case of now, is just dealing with the discipline, consistency and time, and you will get there. And then what I want you to do is work down through each one of your clients and just give a scale on each one of them, your relationship and the level of achievement to the goal that they've asked you. And again, this all comes from the initial consultation and knowing fully what each one of your clients wants to gain out of your service. Now, here we've developed a matrix. Down the left hand side, we have the achievement, the goal. What did they first come and hire your services for? Got 10 up the top, working down to 1, and the relationship scale goes along the bottom. As opposed to going 1 to 10, we go 10, 9, 8, and so be it. Now, for example, if you take the first client that you worked with, that you wrote down, and you said your relationship on a scale of 1 to 10 was at a 6, and the level of achievement towards their goal was a 4. Well, now we get those two numbers, relationship 6 and 4. And this is where we are on the matrix. And this matrix is divided into 4 sections, left hand side and top. So we have the top and the bottom for the achievement, and for the relationship we have the left hand side and the right hand side. Now this is just for your own purposes. I would strongly recommend naming this yourself so it's an easier understanding. So for example, this client that we're first talking about is a 6 and a 4. So we've got a BL. So what would you name that yourself, so you can quickly, when you're identifying through your clients and you're reflecting on each client, you're becoming aware by saying, oh, this client is BL, this other client is RT. And you're working through different little matrices like that. So this is the first one that I've created. And a 6 and a 4 gives us the friend zone. And out of these 4 sections, we're only really concerned about 1. But again, this is about reflecting and bringing something into your conscious awareness. So with this client, we're in the friend zone. You've got a great connection, but there's no results. This is where before we ever start worrying about a client, we always look at ourselves. So is this okay and is this acceptable for the client? You need to get back to the assessment form. You need to get back to your email, your phone messages, and see what this client is exactly looking for. You're on 6. What got you to 6? Why did you say 6? Why didn't you say 1? What got you to 6? And what's going to get you increasing that relationship? Or is that what the person's looking for? And this is where I talk about the push and the pull. So if this person, it's very, very important to understand in today's world more so than ever, just because we believe a client can lift a certain amount, or a client can get this much fitter, or can lose this much more weight, that might necessarily be their goal. We have to listen to the client, and we're providing a service for what they want to achieve. If the client wants to come and they just want to train there and forget about everything else and not do anything else in the session, in between the sessions that you're doing, well, that's the service that you have to deliver. And then if that's the question, if that's the aim of that client, the question we have to ask ourselves is, are we really at a 4? That client, we might be 6, but if that's exactly what they're looking for, that's their sense of achievement. So we cannot give a sense of achievement. We can only set targets from what they want to achieve, but we cannot say this is what you should be doing and this is when you should be achieving it. So this level of sense of achievement, and this is from where we look at ourselves, we bring it back to the client. And this is what rechecking in is. This is what reassessments is. Before you ever worry about a tape measure and the scales and the height and any of the rest of it, we need to start worrying about is this exactly where you want to be? Now, say your next client, and we're going to give this client with the relationship a 3, and we're going to give a 3 on the sense of achievement as well. Well, this lands us then in the poor connection and 0 results. This is where we really have to take out a mirror to ourselves. What's after going on here? And with the no results and the poor connection, this is where after we continuously look at ourselves and see what we could be doing better and are we doing everything to help them achieve what they're looking to achieve, that's where we probably do need to call a meeting. So even if it was a training session time slot, but you bring them in free of charge and you talk through exactly what's going on. And this is the important thing, that this is where you're thinking short term or long term. For your name and your reputation, are you strong enough and you're confident enough to give up that client even though if they've paid for a full package? If they're a solid client and they're paying every single week, but you've got a poor connection, it's a very difficult conversation, there's no results. Are you willing to say, for the longer term vision, for your reputation, and not in a hastily way, but to say, this is not working for us? Just because you join a soccer team and you're at soccer practice and the soccer coach is meant to be the person that you want to train with, if you're not enjoying it, you join another team. It's the same thing in our industry. We might have to offer refund, or maybe say that I'm not the person for you, not taking away from me as a trainer, but you may be off having a better connection. It could be with a different sex, could be male or female, it could be because there's too much of a travel involved to come to you. But we have to be strong enough here and really look at ourselves in this part of the matrix, in the bottom 4, the bottom corner of this quadrant. Now, the top is very interesting because there is no correct place to be. This could be the best place to be, depending on what the client needs and wants. That's the most important. Remember, their sense of achievement comes from them. Our targets come from what they're trying to achieve, not us telling them what they should be achieving. And then we break up here. With the relationship, we could get a 4 or a 2, even a 1. The achievement in the sense of results could be up 8, 9, 10, landing us in a RT. It's a poor connection, but it's great results. Now, what we need to do there is we need to just check in gently. We don't need to be everyone's best friend. Of course, when you're dealing with a personal training client, the best way to get a result is have a personal connection, a personal emotional connection. You're going to be more interbonded, they're more interconnected, which again, that is a dark side to it as well, and we'll talk about that in a while. So here, you don't have to be telling yourself that when you go through your reflection and go through your awareness, I've got a client here, I've got to go head and shoulders above getting this person up here. But what you might become identifying here is, I make no effort with this person. I read something on a Wednesday after our training session on a Tuesday, and it would be very, very helpful towards them, but I don't email it to them. I ask them to email me every week. They don't, so I don't bother emailing them. I never pick up the phone to text message them to say, everything okay last night? Is there anything I can do for you at the next session? So maybe here, with the poor connection and the great results, it might be coming from us. So then we know what this client needs to do with the push and the pull. This client needs more of personal attention because I'm not going above and beyond to create that personal connection. But again, this tool is not to criticize you or to give every single one of your clients a result that they've always dreamt of. It's for you to reflect and become aware of where you are with each one of your clients, especially when your client list grows and it gives you a bit of a brain fuzz. So with this one, you need to look at yourself in the relationship because you're getting the results. And we'll go back to that in a second. And then with the last one, the top left quadrant, the L and the T. So the achievement could be up at 9 and the relationship is up at 9. Well, that's fantastic. Well, that's great because both of you are going enjoying the training sessions and both of you are enjoying the results. Here, this is where you start your reflection after doing your reflection and awareness on your clients. This is where you start your reflection with you. Because if you got a client here at 9 and 9, what's got them there? What have you done with them that's different? How did you approach that from the first day? Is it because it's a particular time of the week that they train, a particular time of day, an evening client, and you're not too much of a morning person? This person trains at the weekend. This is where you feel fresher, lighter, because you've had a good night's sleep the night before. Whatever it is, you need to identify this and you need to mirror it back to the rest of your clients. And again, there is a lot of time where we could have an absolute great relationship, but we're not taking them on their achievement. I.e., you could have a great relationship with the person, they absolutely adore you, they've been coming to you for 2 years, but they do have a wedding or they have something coming up in 8 weeks, and you're nowhere near the sense of achievement. Well, that's where we do then have to sit down with them and go, we need to break this friend zone. Let's check in over Zoom and have a coffee and stuff like that once a week. But when we come in to train, we need to train. It could be a case of here that you have a great relationship, you're not getting the sense of achievement, and then you need to look after what they're doing on other days. You could be advising that our training sessions are going great, but to get to your sense of achievement and to your level of goal, what you're looking to do, you may need to start doing a class in between. You may need to start walking in between. You may need to start doing more. But through here, you've got 4 quadrants. After reflecting on your clients, scaling your relationship and scaling the sense of achievement, to bring in a level of awareness to know where each one of your clients are, and you'll know whether to push or to pull them. What are they looking for? And just because you identify something and they are in something, like here, there's a poor connection and great results, that just might be where they're staying. That's where they're comfortable with. But again, you're becoming very, very consciously aware of where you stand with each one of your clients, and you're addressing it before it ever becomes an issue. I.e., someone might just finish up the package here and say it was great results, but it's too awkward never ever talking, or it's too awkward never having connection or ever having interaction in between our sessions. I need people more on top of me. So this is what you need to do as a trainer. Like when a client comes into us, we have an assessment with them, we have a set date for a reassessment. But for you as a trainer, when do you do your own assessment and when do you do your own reassessments? Because it's a continuum. You have to keep looking after yourself. And then most importantly, this is for your current clients. Then you need to review all of your clients. You need to pin everyone, put a dot where they're meant to be, put a name, and then really deep dive into yourself and say, what got that person there? What got that person there? What got that person even up to 10? Because you need to focus on all the strengths that did get you results and success previously, and you need to continuously bring that. Because something in our industry, with everything so forward moving and interchangeable all of the time, even before COVID, we begin to lose sight of what's worked will work again. So it's not the latest technology, it's not the latest exercise, it's not the latest sequences and frequencies. It's all about getting our personal connections and then becoming to identify what's working and sticking with it. If something worked 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 3 years ago, it doesn't mean it will not work now. You stick to what works well and you stick to your core values, but you have to understand and have confidence in knowing exactly what brings you success. So again, this is a very, very quick explanation of it. It's a grid. Remember, get your client, first client, scale them 1 to 10 with the relationship and emotional connection you have. Scale them on the sense of achievement that they're looking for from the assessment that you had first day. Pencil them out, each one of them. From there you get your awareness, and then after that you know, are you pushing or pulling any of your clients? Continuously looking at yourself before you ever look out at a client, and after that focus on your strengths. Be aware of negatives, but put anyone that has worked or not worked well with you previously and list out what went well, how it went well, how do I implement it more, and the stuff that didn't go well, be very aware of it, don't focus on it, and then just know that for your own education going forward. So again, just a quick matrix: bottom, top for the achievement, left, right for the relationship, and I strongly recommend you labeling each one of these so you can quickly remember, if you ever have to quickly identify a client, where you stand with them, that it's X, Y. Perfect. Thanks very much.